All right, greetings, I'm Jonas. All right, here's some weirdness. So Astral World, that was like a couple years ago. I don't remember when that was. It was a while back. It was kind of like a Illuminati, you know, film festival or some music festival. I'm not gonna go into that. Apparently, Dave Chappelle recently. I didn't know about this until like now that he was attacked by somebody, which is interesting. And the same security team that was involved with the Astro World, where like 10 people died, the same security team was around Dave Chappelle. It was like a Netflix festival or something. He was at. So that's something's up. Well, yeah, something's definitely going on. This month does not feel normal at all. It's difficult to tap into what's going on in this month, but this is not a normal month. There's some kind of agenda that's completely hidden that's not showing itself. Not that I'll be able to tap into that clearly, but there is just, so Dave Chappelle just got attacked basically a couple of days ago, so it's kind of like some kind of sacrifice here. He's just not doing what they want him to do, or he's just, whatever it is. The clone has just ran its time, whatever that might be. I think he was on live today, actually. So something's up. So go to the astral realm. We just tap into whatever might be there. It's hard to say where that's going. And May is not a normal month. It is far from it. It's so much that's happening behind the scenes. It's obviously difficult to tap into it. But I talked about the Masonic stuff yesterday. And that's really where the heart of a lot of this is. That's where the magic is. Obviously, it's not for everybody. You can go full Alex Jones and get all scared and everything, put fear into people is nothing to be afraid of either. But this going to the heart of healing the dark magic that's here. We'll get this world out of this in no time, but of course, not many people are interested in that. We're not always meant to do that either, but um, yeah. So yeah, just it's all at the Masonic temples basically. That's one place. Of course, the Rosicrucians also, but a lot of it's the Masonic energies. At least the Masons you can find them. The Rosicrucians you can't find them. I don't think you can. So at least they're giving you. I mean, they're putting themselves right in front of you. Is this what people want to look? So yeah, healing that energy. I mean, technically, if more people want to know what's happening here, obviously not everybody's meant to, but to unlock the spells that are here, it can be done, but on a collective level, the collective is just not ready for it. But it doesn't mean you can't still tap into it. It's basically how the wizardry is done here. How the cities are built, airports are built, why certain cities have certain grids, the way lines, and all that. I mean, that's all wizardry stuff going on there. So it's just for us to be able, get to a level where you can access that knowledge and not be afraid of it. Now, what you're going to do with it is a whole other story. I don't know, not get manipulated anymore. I mean, the whole idea, I think the physical realm is still going to exist here, but it doesn't mean that the manipulations have to exist here anymore. So the idea we're going to, more peaceful Earth, but it'll still probably be physical to some level. So, but how many are really ready for that? So, I mean, so many people like the drama. It's something that they're going through and all that, which is fine. So, yeah, it's going to be a while for the Earth to move forward into the next level, but we'll see. And we're not always meant to evolve. And we are to a certain level if they show signs of they're not being pulled into manipulations and they're ready just to relax and move forward to the higher realms of, how the world's being put together. I'm being kind of cryptic about some of that, but it's just basically so you can influence others in a good way to pull us out of this situation. Let's put it that way. Something like that. Hopefully, it makes some kind of sense. Okay, as I've been talking about coming for our sessions. The schedule here at the shop, and then I'm still in April somewhere, but I'm catching up. Same situation here. Webinar, social network behind the scenes. And let's see here. So this is the Astral, and everything has the Astral World, Astro. Anyway, this is where he got hit. So yeah. There's some kind of Netflix thing going on. I just heard about it like now. So anyway, this is the security team that's involved with it. It feels like they've been taken over. I also said their practices are not really caring who works for them and all that. So it's been infiltrated. It's an easy way to get to people for sure. So this is where the rituals are working behind the scenes. So that's pretty messed up. So yeah, it's we got some kind of ritual coming up. That was technically a ritual. It feels like there's another ritual on the way of some kind. It's really, I don't know if there's a musical event going on or what's going to happen. Something maybe on the 15th. I'm not sure. Something's in the air. This whole month does not feel normal. It just feels like it feels really out of place. Just anything can happen this month. Doesn't mean like the end of the world or 9/11 or anything like that. I don't see that, but yeah, it's just weirdness on the way. Of course, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. The last 20 minutes of Mother's Day. So, all right, what's happened to Astral World energies, I guess. I feel a Palladian energy there. To get an alien perspective of the vibrations. I'm not sure where that's going to go, but it goes anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. So we're just going to go with the flow of this. I do feel giants and astral. That's cool. Or giants in space, giant beings. I don't know where that's coming from. That's cool though. Yeah, the higher dimensions. Yeah, I don't think about it very often, but the higher dimensions, the bigger the beings can be, like 30, 50, 100 feet tall, 1,000 feet tall, whatever it is. Just. Okay, very blessings. Something's up. I just got hit. Something's definitely up. My internet's still working. Okay, blessings. Greece, you? The Palladians? Of course, there's a lot of changes being made behind the scenes. Your month there's a lot of activations happening this month. Let's put it that way. Even the energies that we can't fully go into because humanity has to go through what they have to go through. A lot's going to happen in the Russia energies. Not everything's going to be made public, but basically, yes, your entire planet's going through a culture change. Maybe not a full culture change. We see a dramatic vibrational shift, but many timelines are being pulled in to change your Earth's frequency level to what you're going into. As for the next agenda, some of it's financial. It's not all financial, but basically there are higher agendas too. You can say in some ways waking up the population because a lot of the elites do want humanity to be aware. That's what they make things so difficult. It's like they make it very extremely hard to be here. So eventually humans can just like, I don't want to take this anymore. I'm ready to awaken. Obviously that happens on a small scale, and others do connect to this conspiracy theory energy and just put out more negative energy instead of putting positive vibrations out. Not to say positivity is going to be the answer to everything. It's far from it. You can say more of a balanced energy within yourself, a balance of positive and darkness. within yourself. Because positivity is not the answer to everything. And negativity is not the answer to everything either. You need both. So there's always going to be a cavern of the unknown, you can say. Of course, in the higher dimensions, you basically know not to make certain mistakes, but you still have a lot of higher power. So if you do make a mistake, it can cause difficulties for others, as you can do here. But some of those, it's not, to get the higher dimensions, you're at there's more responsibility there. And some do abuse their vibrations on a constant level. And higher dimensional beings that cause a lot of difficulties here on your planet. That's why many of them incarnate here. They call themselves the elites energies because a lot of them made a lot of mistakes here, especially the Anunnaki. A lot of the Anunnaki were used against humanity. Part of it is the plastic surgery situation. I notice how many people are obsessed with plastic surgery. A lot of that's Anunnaki. At least the Anunnaki is going wrong, basically the negative side of the Anunnaki to force people to always look beautiful. And then things makes it worse. The body's basically developed to, keep its beauty even at an old age. Of course, it all depends on how you take care of yourself. But you can't bring in a positive vibration without a plastic surgery frequency. The Dave Chappelle energy, we can't go into full details of that, but it's pretty obvious that yes, he's being played with at this time. Yeah, it's a fragile subject matter, but the Dave Chappelle energy is just realize the power he has over people, and he's not always going by the script that's being told to him, even if you believe it's a clone or not. He's not going by what is being told. So Dave Chappelle is similar to like a Kardashian in some form. Meaning he still has a heavy effect, maybe not as much as the Kardashians, but he still has a strong influence. So it might be a miniature version of a Kardashian, but it still has, a lot of similarities. So these elite families, even Chappelle is kind of an elite family if he's usually seen by himself, are going to have to go through a change because they're not having the effect on humanity that they used to. Yes, they still have a control, but some of these old elite families need to go and new ones need to come in. It hasn't quite happened yet, but it's in the works, of course. Who's going to be the next, Kardashian family, the royal family? Obviously, it takes a while. Nothing's ever 100%. They can bring one up, and it doesn't work out so well, so they have to test things out. Paris Hilton is supposed to be one of those elite families, but she pulled back. She didn't want to sell herself out. So obviously, the Kardashians have been given a great amount of power, wealth, and just who needs a soul anyway? Because there's not much of a soul frequency there. A lot of beings can say that they're Kim Kardashian. A lot of them are working through that frequency level. So, yes, with the security team that's happening at this time, but there's many Illuminati rituals of beings designed at this time. It doesn't mean you have to let that consume you. Most of you aren't going to let you think about it. But it is happening in the background, basically, so it changed. So basically, things have not changed since the Babylonian times. Nothing's changed. It's just now they get to show themselves. They love showing themselves. The rituals, they just love it more than anything, especially when people are completely clueless. It gives them even more of a high when people are clueless because they fall for it, especially during the Super Bowl. So, you have Babylonian rituals dealing on humanity. Eventually, alien beings will appear at some of these rituals. I mean, technically, they do. You just don't see them. But you can go to a football stadium, watch the Super Bowl, and see alien vibrations appear. I mean, alien beings, even like a reptilian being showing up. One day that will happen. Doesn't mean it'll happen in your lifetime, but it does have a frequency of that. With the idea also, of course, you change your frequency so the aliens can't hide anymore. You connect to their energy field, and that's easier said than done. But some of you are tapping into those frequencies, and eventually they'll be seen more clearly. Yes, the reptilians are getting a little bit, some of them are getting a little bit more aggravated because they can't hide like they used to. I mean, many of you are becoming aware of them. And so, yes, obviously they can hide, you can't see them, but you're sensing them more. And they don't like that because they can pick up when they're being picked up on. When you tap into them, they know they're being tapped into, and they can't stand that. So it is causing a problem, but they can't hide themselves. It's like they might be hiding under the sheets, but you can just remove the sheets and there they are. And that's the different dimensions. They're not that well hidden. They're like in another dimension, they're like just razor thin, the reality that they're in. They're very careful of how they don't show their emotions. Of course, sometimes they do anyway. But they're very careful that they don't pick them up. At least you can pick up on their vibration. They can't hide everything. But at least you don't feel their aggravation. But then again, sometimes you might. Well, it's just that they're taught to take over humanity, to play it to the best of their ability to keep you hidden. They're testing your souls. They're seeing how far they can go with manipulating your reality until humanity's like, okay, no more of that. And you have not quite got to that level yet. But maybe you are getting to that level where you don't need to be part of any of this manipulation anymore. It's slowly dying out for some of you. It's just rolling with the roll with reality as best you can do. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the astral consciousness. Some of you have like a license plate number, 1-800 I love you or something like that. As a gag. Some of you have Astral automobiles. You drive around in Astral. It's pretty humorous actually to see that. You don't need a car in Astral, but some of you do it anyway. It's connected to this planet. So was the astral realm is slowly awakening. Obviously, it's not going to waken up completely. There's a lot of coded energies there. It means they don't know exactly what's going on there. They'd be surprised how many souls here in this reality do cooking and astral, cooking up ideas, thoughts. It's not just a food. You're just creating your timeline there. You're making noodle soup and you pull out ideas for a timeline instead of just that's like a whole another level of astral. But you'd be surprised. Sometimes you make noodle soup like with a big, what do you call it? Cooking apparatus, and you pull a person out of it. It's like, look, I cooked up a person that I need to help me in my physical life. You'd be surprised how much humor some of you do. Some of you do talk to rabbit beings a lot. Like psychedelic rabbits. Those are you that are just completely gone from reality. Well, you do that because you go into the future. So you connect to a being that can connect to the future easily. So you get some kind of sense of the future vibrations. Of course, some of you do become homesick because you connect to the astral realm when you're here in the physical realm. So it's like, what am I doing on this planet again? I could be having much more fun somewhere else. But you're bringing that vibration here. You might not always be aware of what you're bringing in. Obviously, there are many that are going through a lot of manipulation. Well, that's some are sold themselves out, and some of them are watching their actual talents be pulled away from them. Where they have to have interviews and connect with other people because they're losing their talents. So basically, you can take a regular soul that's sold out and watch them become an archon being. It's like, wow, I had all this singing, I had the singing voice, I could write songs, but then I wanted to be famous and popular. So they sold themselves out and they can watch all their talents, all their singing ability vaporize. I'm just using that for example. You can use that for the spiritual community also. So be surprised how many are plugged into the archon system. So some of you might have family members. Not to say everybody is like popular that's under that grid, but there's quite a few that are. Not everybody's a celebrity that has been sold themselves out far from it. So a lot of them is just the power of their talent just got into their level. They're meant to be that in that situation. But others that want a quick fix, like doing a drug, take a drug and now you're high, you're in this place and that place. What's many do that astrally. They become wealthy and lose themselves, and it just goes on without naming names of who does that. It just very common. Many of you that go into the astral realms you might see some of that if it's necessary. Some of you are also doing a lot of vacuuming in astral, meaning you're clearing out the vibrations of this earth. I mean, it might be you're vacuuming the planet, removing all the nonsense here. Doesn't mean you're removing all of it. Many people are still holding on to a great deal of it. Oh, it creates character. It creates character. It just does all kinds of things for you. So there is a magic to this low vibrational earth. It does really bring it challenges the soul, where in the higher dimensions you have no personality, you've lost a lot of it, and you come here and now you've regained a lot of it. So you think that this world is going to heal instantly. When you look at the positives, yes, it might be a war planet. It feels like you're all going insane, but there's also like a rush of growth. It's like you remember. Yeah, you might have forgot the alien realms and all of that, but you also remember what you've forgotten as a soul of like having a humorous personality and things of that kind. Or it just, even a dirty personality, whatever it is. Because you can get in the higher dimensions and forget. But you can become plain. Not all souls do that. It gets complicated with that. But connected to a darker vibration of this earth is the cure for a soul to wake itself up. There's different ways of looking at awaken. Many of you are awakening spiritually and connected to the astral, but there's also downsides to that too, because you can have too much knowledge. You have all this knowledge and you become lazy. So you incarnate here in a world that's a war planet, and it really throws a fire under you to improve, to evolve, to not take things for granted, and so on. So even this world, if this world does go to an ascension, it will eventually. But there are many perks to this low frequencies. Doesn't mean it has to stay that way, no. But there is, the human trafficking energy is difficult to heal, as you can see. Well, human trafficking can be healed by your human collective coming together on a spiritual level, on just without getting violent with each other, but just as you can see, coming together on your planet is not as easy as it sounds. But that's the idea. It's like, your collective doesn't want the human trafficking frequent. Most of you don't. But there's enough here to keep it going. So, all right. Blessings. Greetings to you. I am the month of May. I am an energy. I am actually a consciousness of many timelines, every realms. Doesn't mean I know everything about you, no. But we do know about each other in the astral plane. So basically the month of May is a person, a being, an entity. You can have lunch with me. You can call me up and talk to my agent. That's humor. But you can feel the frequencies, of course, of the star systems I'm connected to, also through astrology. It's kind of like the genetic makeup. So basically, a month as you incarnate plays a big role too. So you have a lot of elements here. The astrology is connected to you as you incarnate, but also the month itself is part of your incarnation process. You can say to pull you into this reality from the spirit realm. You can be yanked into this world by the human consciousness collective. It gets complicated there. You can be an alien. Now, this is bad, but it does happen. You could be an alien being on your ship, minding your own business. And this planet can actually, depending on the entity that's here, can pull you into this earth to have an incarnation. Because they feel like you should be here. So it's kind of like an abduction. Now, who does it and all that, that's up to you. But some of you feel like you've got abducted into this world. Most likely you have been. Did you get human trafficked? That's not necessarily the term we can use. But it's just like you're perfect for this world and you get pulled into it. Without going to the celebrity energy, it's just now I realize a lot of those decisions are made in astral, but still, if you're an alien being get yanked into this planet, it's like you're here to assist this Earth, and all of a sudden you feel like it's pulling you here. Like you literally feel yourself being born on the planet as a human. It's like, what is this about? You don't know anything about it. It's like a fractal of yourself can incarnate here without your knowing. As another way of looking at it. So with the May frequencies, realize May we see all the timelines, at least the major ones. We feel that the timelines come from the people, from some of the people, not all. Well, let's say, well, it's kind of difficult to say who, but a great deal of humans here just don't want to be messed with. Don't bother me. Just give me my TV, my family, something to eat, and just go away. So none of that happening on your phone. So this galactic awakening is going to take a little bit longer than some might think. When so many are just not interested in any of this high vibrational knowledge, and most are not. It doesn't mean you have to go around selling it. It just many just are just fine with their TV guide, the television, and some kind of relationship, whatever it might is, and that's it. All across the world, you see that. So to change, and some just want to drink wine all day, have conversations, drink wine all day, and that's their life for the next 30 years. Nothing wrong with that, but realize the high vibrational knowledge. So those of you who are connecting more to your spirituality, depending on the vibration. So many are connected to a level of spirituality, where they're most likely going to incarnate here again, but they do bring a positive frequency. They're not quite ready to let go of the earth. Then there are others of you that are just, tapping into the moon. You feel like you can move the moon with your mind, and you feel like you're a spirit guide somewhere. You feel like you're stuck here. You're brought here against your will, and that doesn't mean that's wrong. meaning it doesn't mean that you're incorrect on that. And there's a lot of layers to that. Well, the reason we bring it in because it's not common, but it kind of is common. So it's just, if you're the perfect match for this earth, the world's gonna find a way to get you here in some form or another. You might be here kicking and screaming, but it doesn't mean some of you tap into higher dimensional knowledge of the astral world. And you might feel like this world is a plague. Why am I doing here physical? But the physical world needs you. It's kind of like being drafted. It's kind of like that. Yeah, and that does exist of being drafted here. It's like, and so many of you feel like that's really wrong, but I mean, there are ways of getting out of it in the spirit realm. Some of you just say, okay, fine, I'll just do it. Well, because you feel what good you can bring to the earth. It's always justified to a certain level. It's just controversial. Well, it is this. Let me look at the planet. If people are just volunteering, you have nobody volunteering. So it finds a way of, just like, what do you call it? Jury duty. They kind of force people. Well, the spirit realm has to kind of do the same way in some form. Some might disagree with it, but you'd be surprised.